This is people's lives. This is my life. This is your life. This is everybody's single life that's out here, even in the whole world. And they trust the trucking industry to keep food on their table, shoes on their feet, a car in their driveway, and the freedom of a nation. But the trucking industry, I have seen such a failure over the last 8 years, 12 years. I'm not going to go into politics, but there's a lot of things that's taken place. I'm putting out a video later. Oh, by the way, how do you like my new set? I'm in the studio, my big screen here, and you might find me on Country Boy. I've done a bunch of videos for Country Boy at different other locations that is not pertaining to trucking. And I decided to bring back some of these videos, or bring back and create some videos here about trucking in the same studio that I created the Country Boy show in. Because there's a lot of these things I found I can't produce some of these things from the seat of my truck. Sometimes I don't want to do it from the seat of the truck. Standing outside my truck is a possibility, but usually it's noisy and other trucks go by. So I decided to do this in the studio, and I hope you'll follow me. I really do. I have got humongous amount of stories. In fact, the stories I want to tell are what people have encouraged me. I've had so many people have encouraged me over the years to get out and tell my story, your story, other story, things that I have observed over the years. And some of these things that I've observed aren't necessarily good. There's some good stuff, and there's some bad stuff, just like anything else in this world. But today, I want to talk about lies. Trucking companies that tell you one thing and do something else. Once you get tied in with a trucking company, sometimes it's hard, not physically, but emotionally, to make a change. And in most cases, you don't know you're being taken for 6 months down the road. According to how much knowledge you have of business and stuff, maybe 3 months down the road. I had a situation many years ago that I had actually was going through a divorce. The company that I was driving for sold out. It was a meat packing house, so when they sold out, we're talking about the whole thing, not just the trucking end, but the packing end, the marketing end, everything. It sold out, owners got older, they decided to sell their operation, and they sold to another company. I found myself without a home. And the truck was my home. Well, in the company I was working for, they knew what was going on. The truck they had given me to use was my home. And I used it. And I made a lot of money on that truck. And I was helping my family out. because of that. But what happened was, when they sold out, my home on wheels disappeared. The new company took it over. They totally clear across the United States. Another company took it. I was not going to go to Detroit, to where the company that bought us out, because I was from the west, near the West Coast, and I didn't want to go over there, and I didn't. So I had to find another trucking company. I anticipated, I even thought about quitting the trucking industry. But I remembered how much money I was making. I was making a darn good hunk of change. So I started looking for somebody local in the vicinity of where I was living, so I could stay close to all my kids. I could stay close to friends, family, and I started looking. But there's one particular company that I actually ended up driving for. I knew, in fact, I'm putting a picture up right here. See this? You'll see this truck with all the lights on it. I had 2 of those. And what the deal was I was looking for somebody that would take me and I could trust. Now, when I first started out this new company, I was running their truck, a company truck. And they talked all this stuff. They go through the typical, orientation, tests, and all this stuff. Well, that was no issue. I had many miles on me, many, many miles. At that point, I probably had close to maybe 1.5 million, 2 million miles on me. Never an accident, never a ticket. So I was valuable. But I was with them 3 months. I parked one day, some things happened, dispatchers lied to me, which got me in trouble with the company, and the dispatchers just closed their mouths. They would not admit to the lies they wanted me to take that load without having the hours over in New York City and make it that delivery. Now, I was in Pennsylvania, and I had run out of hours. They knew I'd run out of hours, and I'd been telling them I was going to run out of hours. They knew it. It wasn't a surprise. But they says, "Can you run this load?" I says, "Of course I can run this load." I was one of those drivers that ran hard. Night and day didn't make any difference to me. One just, it got dark, it got light, it got dark, it got light, my truck stayed rolling. This was back before Ethel got created. Many years before Ethel got created. But what the bottom line came down to was, I got back. I ran the load for them. I says, if you'll work it out with the safety department, I'll run it. If you don't work it out with the safety department, I will not run it. They called me back and says, it's clear. Safety says you can do it. Okay, you said it. Dispatch said it. I took off. I did my delivery. The rest of this story, there was a lot more details to this, because they started penalizing me. As soon as I got the delivery made, they started going back on their word. Lies, lies, lies. I got back to my destination, back across the United States. Safety pulled me in. They says, "Steve, we want to put you on probation, or we're putting you on probation." Probation? I have never, ever been on probation by nobody. Have you looked at my driving record? Have you looked at my safety record? Have you looked at all the things I have done? Yeah, but you broke the rules. No, I didn't break the rules. Your dispatch broke the rules. And they were supposed to talk to you. Did they talk to you? No, they never talked to us. But here's the bottom line. They says, but we need you. You get this? They needed me because they knew I was good. They says, but we need you to take a load. I can't remember where it was going. And my mind was rolling. And I said, okay, I'll do it. Well, I knew what I was going to do. So they had the load ready. I took the load. As soon as I got rolling, I made a phone call. I called another company. This is where this beautiful truck came from. Other company says, yes, Steve, we got a truck just for you. And when I came back, I think it was a 6 or a 7 day run. When I came back in the yard, I had emptied their truck. I'd taken everything out of the truck that was mine. I came through their safety gate, parked their truck with the load on it, and walked out the gate. Never to be heard of again from them. Yes, I got paid. What made me really, I'm not going to say sad, but it was upset, because the owner of this particular company was a friend of mine. I'd been doing some truck shows. I'd been winning some shows previously before I started working with them. And we'd had lunch together. We'd sit and visit together. He basically turned his back on me. Lies. Drivers, be very, very, very careful of the stories that you're told from a dispatcher or from a manager or any of these people. Safety. There's a lot of companies out there that are good for telling lies. I look at some of these ads and I go to my wife, and she drove with me for 2 years. She drove. She knows the roads. She knew what we did. And it wasn't for this company. It was the next company we actually drove for. And I look at some of these ads that I see in the truckers magazines and on your cell phones, and and I go, they can't. I said, honey, look at this income. They're telling you can make this money. I says, it's not possible. It's not possible. You couldn't run enough miles, even if you did it illegally, to make the money that they're telling you can make. Big money. They're trying to get you drivers out here for big money, dishonest money, because it can't happen. Lies. Be careful, drivers. Be really careful who you hire on with. Don't look for the green pasture on the other side of the fence, because not all pastures are green. I'm Steve Allen, and I'm just going to be putting out a few of these videos because I have been out here right around 3.5 million miles now. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. I'm Steve Allen, and thank you for watching Sundog Film Productions and looking through the windshield. You'll find me both in websites and just follow the links. Glad to be here with you today, passing on some of the knowledge that I have learned. That so many people have said, Steve, you've got to get this out to the world. See you later, and happy motoring. And keep the shiny side up. Bet you a lot of you have never heard of that one. The old terms. See you later. Bye.